If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Lawful Stupid just jumped over. First of all, it's free, and we love that. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, wherever you're at, all on the go. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. There are a lot of other vendors out there, a lot of platforms that they will make sure your podcast gets to. So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast with zero minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Last time on Lawful Stupid.
We reach the capital real good. We go to Prima Tacet, and there's a big fucking swamp dragon made of ice and hatred, and it comes out of the earth, and it eats a horse, and it fights us, and it said fuck you to all my spells, like a dick. And then Princess Elsa came from Arendelle, and she blasted him with a Gatling gun. And then we all did spells again, and attacks and techniques, and then there was ultimate final technique, implosion, and then that's where we are.
Yeah.
Any questions?
So,
Nah, I'm good.
Anybody got anything else to add? I don't think so.
You're about 6 hours out of the frozen waypoint when you guys are ambushed by this giant fiend, and the fight's not looking great. It is ginormous, and you're assisted by Phaelana, Arendelle, ironically. This is frozen fucking country. And the last episode ends with her basically accosting Kristoff for taking so long.
What?
What took you so long to get here?
Well, there was kind of a large barrier. There was kind of like a lot of stuff going on.
And we had to get these nice clothes because me and Rowan were very cold.
Yeah, well, that was not exactly like the top of our priorities. But yes, we had to do that too.
And she kind of like puts her fingers to her forehead. I see things have not changed that much with you. Excuses as always. But all the same, I have been tasked to bring you to the capital.
By whom? To what end?
By our king, your brother, of course.
Mm-hmm. To what end?
It's by his wish that I bring you. Of course, Palace did not share why he wants you. He did specify that you are not to be harmed.
That's encouraging. How did he know I was even here?
Well, to be honest, I've been waiting a while, but we knew you were on the way.
Okay,
You don't exactly move silently.
Mm-hmm. Can we just have a moment?
You three?
Yes.
Of course, but don't go too far. I don't want to chase you.
Understood. We'll kind of pull off to the side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like within sight, but not within hearing at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's not intending to eavesdrop specifically.
So we about to run away right now.
No, I have to go.
Yeah, it's the easy in.
Well, I guess, yeah, she's going to escort us all to the city, right? That makes sense.
Well, she's going to escort me to the city.
Well, we're going to go with you.
I don't think that you should.
But that's where my mother is. That's where I'm going.
Right, but I'm going to serve as a pretty suitable distraction, don't you think?
Oh, I mean, yes, you go your way, and then that's what I'm saying is we'll split off.
Yeah. You guys could maybe take the mountain path. While they get me in there, I'll talk to Palace, and hopefully it'll be an unnecessary precaution, but say he doesn't want to let Teresa go, that's unacceptable. Meanwhile, you and Rowan can go pop her out, and Robert is your father's brother.
Well, we have to find out where she is first. We don't know where she is. I mean, we assume with your brother for whatever reason, but
I mean, it's up to you, Atlas. It's your mother. If we are detained, we're not getting her at all. That's why there's a very, very, very good chance this is a trap. There's a very, very, very good chance that I will not have freedom of mobility after I go with this woman. That's why I kind of suggested that you go separately. But if you want to take this path, and you think that's best, of course.
So what if you show up ahead of us? If we're just regular people coming into the town?
I mean, the jig's kind of up on that. She's seen us together.
Yes, but we're not here to cause trouble. You're here to talk. We are accompanying you.
Yeah, if that's what you want.
What's her name again?
Phelana.
Phelana.
Yes.
Tell me one thing. There's probably a human woman in that castle or wherever. Her name is Teresa. Do you know of her?
And she places a hand to her chin and says, Well, we have several human women, but I don't recognize the name Teresa. Perhaps one of the fiends have her.
When you say have,
in their possession. They've been taking hostages?
So the fiends here are now taking hostages instead of just killing everything they see?
Well, yes.
And I'll turn back into the boys. Doesn't that seem strange that the fiends are taking hostages?
You know better than anyone I know.
The fiends I fought, they were monstrosities. They had no ability to think. They just walked around and they killed whatever they came in their path. It seems like she's telling me there are some that are smarter.
I think
Devin,
they're
I'm
evolving.
gonna help you out. You can do a D&D mechanic and you can try and determine if she's lying.
I will do that. Insight.
You can roll an insight check, yeah.
It's a 6.
You for all intents and purposes, you believe she's telling the truth. You don't discern any reason for her to lie or any body language or quivering in her voice. Seems genuine. It's confusing, but genuine.
These people who are being taken, for you to know that they're being taken, is there a place they're being held that you know about?
And she kind of sighs and says, "Listen, though this isn't really my expertise, you're welcome to join, Kristoff, and I suppose we could tell you what we know. That's really at my liege's discretion, not mine. I can tell you we're not in the business of capturing
I'll turn back.
Your Teresa.
I'll turn back into the boys. So, Kristoff, you're saying you'll go with your friend here to talk to Palace.
Yeah.
And how long is the trip back from here? A day? 2 days?
Dwayne.
Yeah, I mean, you would know that it's about a day-ish if you walk, but if you take a skimmer, you'll be there in an hour or two, a couple hours.
And the mountain pass is how long?
There's the same distance to the mountain pass to the gate, right? Getting through the mountain pass, that depends on how well you fare. They literally have a challenge and competition about who can get through it the fastest, right? Christoph and ballpark, you would know like the fastest person who's ever done it was like a few hours. You just can't remember exactly where that was.
Sure.
Easy enough.
Okay, I guess you're right, Christoph. If we don't want to be taken, our best odds of finding out, getting information, is to go separately. Unless your friend over there tells, about to expect us at other gates. Then they'll find out when we get there anyway. If they're looking for us.
Well, I've got an idea about that. And I reach into my belt and I pull off my coin purse and I throw it at Atlas's chest and I go, "There's your damn money!
I'll catch it.
Thank you for your service. I appreciate it."
You're welcome.
I don't expect to see you again.
And you never will.
And I pull from my coat an envelope and I hand it to Ro and I say, "And what I promised you."
It's good to see you're finally being a man of your word.
Well. And then I kind of...
Do me a favor, and all of you, do a group performance check.
Oh.
I won't even do deception. It's so good. Do performance.
21.
7.
You guys, it's like 27.
Yeah.
27? So like, it seems weird at first when like you're just randomly shouting, and especially with Atlas being like, "Oh, you're welcome." But then like as the rest of it plays out and he kind of catches the drift as you guys all start acting, she just kind of looks at Kristoff and almost like begrudgingly judges him for his choice.
And I kind of, and I pull my collar up and I go, "No, if you will, please."
I suppose you're done here then?
Oh, yes.
And she looks at Atlas and Rowan and says, "There are more of these about. Just know that. I don't think you're from around here."
They knew the risk when they took the job. They'll find their own way home.
So be it. And the pair of you depart.
And I look over my shoulder as I walk away. Bing, 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 bing.
Plays Hulk.
As we go on, we remember.
Yeah, so this is where we're gonna kind of split the party. So we'll do the doodaloo as we go. Boys, while I kind of walk through Kristoff's situation, since that's a little more narratively on track, why don't you guys kind of like decide what you guys are gonna do and how you guys are gonna do it, and we'll go from there. So Kristoff, you and Phaelana have a few hours march to this frozen waypoint. I'll give you an opportunity to kind of ask her some questions before you do that if you want. Otherwise, you can kind of like march in silence.
How fare the people, Phaelana?
I suppose they're better than ever. Despite this war, that's of course not great.
Very good. And how fares the king?
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. How are you, Kristoff?
Oh, never better.
Happy to see not much has changed. And so you guys kind of continue in like this silence, this void of conversation, and sounds like tension coming from you specifically. And you guys get to this frozen waypoint, and it's like this 2-story building covered in like cobblestone and like these like real rough like wooden support beams. And the second story is the piece attached to the dock. And you can tell that there's several ships docked. And on the sails of these ships, there's like these chromatic plates where the like a normal cloth sail would be. And they kind of like shine in the reflection of the snow and ice and the sun. And Kristoff, this is very normal to you. These are Silencian skimmers. They all look very above board. And you notice that, like, again, you see the familiar large ivory rails. Like, it's like these big metal frameworks attached to each side of the ship. And on the bottom, there's like these ivory plated, almost like skids that you know that these boats like use along with some arcane magic to like almost like glide across the ice. And as you like get up onto this platform and you're walking up this staircase to get to the second floor, this kind of like welcoming portion to get in and pay for it, you notice that you're like getting some weird looks because you still have your half mask on, right?
No, I threw it into the portal into the alternate future.
That's right, you threw away your mask. So like you're getting even stranger looks then, because like there's like tieflings giving you almost like dirty looks.
Sure.
And you notice that like Phaelana doesn't think much of it. She just kind of continues to lead you along and down the dock, and she says, "This is us," and like motions for you to go up on this like skimmer. And you notice it's like royal in nature. Like you see your family crest, and you're seeing the reds and the browns of Silencian royal colors with some accents of white.
Of course. And I step forward.
Yeah, so you guys climb onto the skimmer, and you kind of feel it like lift up a little bit, and kind of like it's almost like you're on a cloud. Like you can feel the boat like kind of move and shift as if you're on water, and it kind of like slowly backs up and like turns around, and it's that familiar feeling of like this lofty, slow glide, and you feel the jerk as the whole boat like lunges forward and begins to like move very, very, very quickly atop this ice and snow, leaving like a trail of wind, for lack of a better description. Like the faint snow, the flurry of snow kind of like gets blown away as you push forward. And Phaelana looks at you and says, "You were gone a long time. I hope you accomplished something useful with that time."
I hope so too.
I must ask, with my own curiosity getting the best of me, why come back after so long away? Why come home?
I had to. There was a danger to the people of Silence, and I felt a need, a responsibility, a duty to do everything I could to ensure that no harm befell them.
I just wonder where that duty was when these fiends started showing up.
To be fair, I didn't know.
I don't know that ignorance is something that people would care about.
There are ways to reach me, but you didn't. You shut yourself off, and I can see why that would be a viable strategy. But if you lock yourself away in a bubble, you can't blame anyone outside of it for not coming to your side.
I'm not blaming just anyone, Kristoff. I'm asking you. I understand why the rest of the world would leave Silence to ourselves. We've, to some degree, kind of asked for it. But you? A spat of your brother, is it enough to turn you from your from your people you so cared about?
It was a bit more than a spat, but obviously it wasn't able to deter me from being here now. I'm here. I'm gonna help.
I suppose better late than never. But it's good to see you've picked up a few tricks. That was impressive casting back there.
Well, it was a matter of survival.
And she kind of like finds a chair and kind of motions for you to join her atop this, the upper deck of this skimmer, so you guys can have a good view. And you're watching as the firm adulations are like rushing towards you. Is there anything you want to do as the mountains fast approach before we hop back over to the other boys?
I'm gonna try the coin one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me a Arcana check, please.
17.
So you channel the coin, and the first thing you get is like immediate feedback. But I think like because you have nothing else to do, like you tinker with it and like you kind of focus on it. And I'm gonna give you kind of like the sending. So I'm gonna give you 25 words to her, and she'll get 25 words back.
Okay. Wasn't prepared for that.
And if you want to think about your message, I'll hop over to them, and then when you come back, we'll just pick that up.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
All right. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Boys, you watch as Kristoff and Phelana begin their march into the distance towards the frozen waypoint. What do you do?
First thing, take a short rest.
Okay, you want to like explain to Rowan before we just like, oh look, they're leaving. Sits on ass for an hour.
Rowan, that last battle did me in pretty good. You mind if we just sit just a short spell before we take off?
No, not at all. Here, and I'll start a fire because like we don't need to be fucking stealthy anymore. They know we're here. We're not on a super big time frame.
What time of day is it, Dwayne? It's just like midday or something, right?
It's like midday. Absolutely.
Okay.
You guys take a short rest.
Yeah.
Heal up.
So
they're giving them an hour head start.
Cool. So what I figure, it's a competition to get across that mountain. Why don't we just try our hand at it and see how quickly we can get there too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna ride on my elk the entire time. Like, it won't be hard for me. I can turn you into like a bat, and you can just ride on our back, and it'll be no problem.
And I can just rest. Is that way? Yes. Any amount of rest that I can get, or just not being physically exerted, is fine. My question is, how easy is it to turn me from a bat back to an orc?
Oh, I just have to stop concentrating on you being a bat, and you'll stop being a bat.
Is that polymorph you got rolling there?
Yeah.
Pretty sure there's an hour.
Yeah.
On that. So you guys know, just hearing Kristoff talk, that like it's a ways to the firm adulations, much less getting through the mountains, right? I mean, A, that hour is going to run up real quick, and B, they're getting on a skimmer, which is going to speed up that process. So they're going to be ahead of you by a good deal if you just ride John Elway, which is fine if that's what you guys want. I just want to be super transparent about travel times.
So are there alternate entrances to this city? I'm assuming yes, once we get there.
Once you get to the city, the public entrance is the primary gate. Like, you can go through the mountains. There's like trails like of varying quality. But as far as like the primary public entrance is the center gate. that they guard and structure.
To me, Rowan, brevity is my priority.
I mean, if you just want to get there, we can just go there. I can disguise self as fucking anything. Like, look, and I boop, I'm Henry. And then I can turn you into a spider and you can sit in my pocket.
So then do we take... I feel like we would take skimmers then, do you agree?
I mean, yeah. You can do that super easy, right?
So now we're not... I think that makes sense. We're not with Kristoff. So if we show up as just refugees or regular people, we should be able to get in.
Boop. I look like Captain Tyndall.
Yeah, I mean, he's that makes sense to me.
Tiefling.
It's just crazy enough that I'm willing to give it a shot.
Okay. So the two of you ride John Elkway to the Frozen Waypoint. I think that you guys make sure you keep distance, right? Because John Elkway is going to be faster.
Yes.
So do you guys want to try and stealthily pass them, or do you guys want to just hold back?
I mean, I can unsummon John Elkway, summon him back as a steed, disguise self as another tiefling, and then just like walk.
It doesn't matter. You're somebody else entirely, and other people use this Frozen Waypoint, so...
Okay,
Let's
cool.
do that.
Alright, you tracking the amount of spell slots you're rolling through? Oh, I guess you can disguise self at will, right?
Yeah, I can disguise self at will.
Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, so, you guys do that. I'm not mad at that. And, retconning a little bit, at some point in the distance, like, a tiefling rider, you notice it in your peripherals, Kristoff. Like a tiefling riding a Heckray.
Does it look like Kristoff? Or does it look like Renwick Tyndall?
Is that who you're specifically disguised as?
I mean, I was just gonna like any tiefling. Tiefling looks
Do like a generic tiefling?
Yeah, because I don't want to pick a face. Well, no, because I don't know if he's fucking wanted. I don't know his life story.
Sure, then I just see that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's like retconning that into your travels. So you guys come up on this Frozen Waypoint, and you can tell that like the second story building, the second story of the building is where you would go in and reserve it, or like purchase a skimmer, ride, or ferry. Is that the intent, or is there another plan here? What do we do with it?
That's what quickest way is best way.
And
Okay.
Atlas is a spider inside of Rowan's pocket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna climb up under his hat actually at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna transparently say for the conservation of his spell slots, you turn him into a spider when you see the pair, and then like as you like ride further, you don't keep turning him into a spider, and then when you roll up on the Frozen Waypoint, you turn him back into a spider, right? Versus 3 hours of polymorph, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I'd have to do that just to keep him stealthy. Like once we're in, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, once you're in, it doesn't matter, right? Like you can just like throw him in or hide him or whatever, right? At least that's the intent. Again, just trying to say, conserve your spell slots for you, because travel time gets funky in D&D.
Yeah.
Especially when going great distances. And so you go into this entrance of the Frozen Waypoint, and you see like a barkeep or a establishment owner behind the tavern, and he looks up and sees a tiefling and says, "Oh, welcome to a Frozen Waypoint. Is it a ferry you be needing?"
It is indeed.
Excellent. Heading to from the capital then.
Heading to.
Oh, excellent. The first time rider, or do you have a VIP card with us?
First time I've not really had a chance to get to the capital, and I'm expanding my
Oh,
horizons.
excellent. It's a beautiful city. Things are a bit up in the air with all the fiends, but Prima Tacet has not been in greater straits. It's good to see you come home to the motherland.
Of course.
And you notice there's like a human and a half orc perusing some of like the traveling supplies that you can purchase here. Just in general, like you're starting to notice that there's like mixed races on this like dock. So yeah, he looks and goes, well, a ferry to the capital is no more than 3 golds, but first time riders, give it to you for 1. First time rider, rather.
That's very kind. Thank you. Give him a gold.
Yeah, so he takes it and he hands you back like a token almost. It's not like a coin as much as it is like a circle with like these inlays in it, and it's a fucking rider's token.
Is there a slot?
I'm so sorry. Yeah, first time. Just hand that to one of the shipmasters. There's, in docks 7 and 8, there's 2 ships about to leave in the next hour. Just pick one. You can even ask their exact departure times. I believe 8 is still doing some minor repairs.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Of course. Enjoy.
Walk over there, try to get a token, try to get a seat early.
Yeah, absolutely. So you walk over, and there's like this deckhand who you're like, kind of like leading with your token, right? Like, as you're like a new guy on the subway or whatever. He kind of sees you and is like, yeah, right here, and takes your token from you and motions you on board. And you're able to see there's 2 like sets of seats. There's like the upper deck, right, where you can get up on the top and kind of get a view, or you can go down below where there's like more seats. But you have like window seats, and you're not exposed to the cold air specifically.
Oh yeah, down below for sure.
Okay.
And I want to take my hat off and have it close to the window so Alice can look out.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
You're the kindest man.
You do that. And so you guys are going to take a skimmer heading towards Prima Tacet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So you kind of hear like Captain come over like this magically enhanced speaker system, for lack of a better storytelling narrative, and say, next stop, Prima Tacet, 2 hours from now. Because I don't know what time it is. And so you know that you're going to be on the boat for about 2 hours. You can either maintain polymorph, fire that off twice more, or you can kind of like bring your boy into existence. What do you want to do?
Let me see how many spell slots I have.
He goes, let me check the fuel in the tank.
Bring me into existence.
Do you want to be in existence?
Yeah, bring me on down.
Oh, okay. Then he exists now.
Yeah, you wait for the spell to end out, and Atlas, you get a comfy seat next to him. And you notice on this boat, like, again, there's tieflings, half-orcs, elves, half-elves. Like, this picture that has been painted for you is this, like, tiefling capital. It's feeling kind of mixed right now.
Yeah.
Dwayne, I think you're forgetting, like, something really important.
Mm-hmm.
That if you look inside of Rowan's hat, there is web, and the web spells out, some bard.
That's true. I did forget that minor detail.
That's fine.
Is there anything you guys want to do on your travels to the capital city of Prima Tacet?
I would like to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did something happen? Did I miss it? Why are you so hurt?
He got fucked up. He got fucked up by necrotic damage, and then his maximum HP got reduced.
By a lot.
Oh.
A couple times.
Is that permanent?
It's until the next long rest.
Or, I mean, there's like a spell. I know bards have it. It's called Restoration. You can use it. But
I don't have that.
Okay.
Either A doesn't have that, or B is low on spell slots.
Oh, you might not take that spell.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so
you can get back to your reduced hit point maximum though with one short rest, because you can burn as many hit dice as you want during a short rest.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So whatever your reduced maximum is, I think you were reduced by a good chunk, like 45 or some nonsense.
It's like 70.
No, you weren't reduced.
Reduced.
Time.
Yeah, 40 is like
Yeah.
48 or 49.
You took a lot of damage.
Oof. I didn't know that escaped me somehow.
you guys are approaching the gate of silence, and you notice there's like
Prima Tacet.
Prima Tacet, and you notice like things are slowing down, like because you felt that same jerk as you bolted forward, and the scenery's just flying by, and you notice they're slowing down, and everybody's starting to kind of like get a little anxious.
We must be here. Or there.
Somewhere. Something.
And down the middle row, that deckhand who took your choke in has said, if you have any weapons, get them out. Have your bags ready for inspection. Us and the next 4 boats are being inspected. Looking for something, but you have nothing to hide. All is fine. And you see, like, people start, like, getting bags out. And, like, there's, like, a couple fighters. You can see, like, pulling weapons out and getting them at the ready to, like, display.
Are we in a place, like, are we outside of, we've got out of the boat now, like we were out?
No, you're like in the boat still as your boat is like getting next to the dock. And remember, you're on top of ice and tundra and snow, like, but the boat is like moving slow, like it'll move and stop as like other boats ahead of you are being inspected. Like if you go above the deck, you can see more of what's going on. Like you're not forced to stay at your seat.
The windows, do they have glass in them, or are they just open windows?
They're very much glass, so you can like. I mean, you could probably try to pop one open, but like when you push on them, they don't seem to like naturally go open. Let me say that.
Rowan, your weapon, can you fold it into your hat, and somehow keep your hat closed, so then once we get through, you can bring your hat back to you.
Yeah, my hat will come back, but it doesn't like bring stuff with it.
Even if it's folded over like a taco? Or whatever that would be in this world.
No, I tried.
I love Atlas. What if you fold it?
I mean, then it's like an envelope.
What are we trying to hide?
Your pistol gun magic thing.
I mean, I can just hide it up my butt.
That is, you can't do that in the limited time that we have. I mean, or can you?
Not with that attitude.
Roll a sleight of hand. No. Roll a sleight of hand in Constitution.
Roll a sleight of anus. Sleight of sphincter, please.
Anyways, I'm good. I don't know what you're gonna do on the way out.
I think you're allowed to have. Oh, no, I'm not there.
Yeah, like I'm not really worried about it. Like as long as I.
And if you guys are worried about the inspection, you could just depart, right? Like you could get off the boat. Like you wouldn't go through the gate, but you could get off the boat. Like, you have to get inspected to go through the gate.
Oh, I thought you were saying as they got off the boat, they were getting checked.
No. The boat is being inspected at the dock. Like you go above deck. I'm pushing you up. You go above deck to get a better look at things, and you see like the boat in front of you. Like guards are you see like all right, because I'm pushing you up so you can see this. You watch as like these guards wearing like faceless masks of ivory that are like curved, so you can't really see facial like features. They're getting on this boat and they're like wearing these red and brown colors with white accents, and they've got like heavy plate armor, and you can't see the color of their skin or any fur. Like they're like fully covered up, and they're carrying these like huge two-handed like falchions. And you see like a squad of these get on this boat, and you watch as like they break off into two. One group of 3 goes up, and another group of 3 goes down to the second level. And you're watching as they're like investigating people. And some people get off onto that dock with a guard, and other people like get off of their own free volition. And like, but once the search has been conducted, like the boat goes through the gate.
Okay.
So you guys can either like get off of the dock, or you can go through the search.
Okay.
We gotta get in rolling.
Easy peasy. You take all my stuff. I'll polymorph you into a spider again. You hide in my hat. and all our contraband is then now stuffed in your tiny magical spider butt.
I can't argue with that.
Okay. So that's what you guys do, and we'll come back to that. Kristoff, it's you and Phelan, and you're approaching this checkpoint. And these guards are presumably behind the boys. These guards are getting on the boat, and you recognize those guards as the Silent. They are a set of elite guards that typically are only broken out in wartime, or they are stationed to defend the castle proper. But they are inspecting each skimmer as you guys go through. And so go ahead.
So just do you want me to snap off that message to Avia that I was doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Please.
I decided that Kristoff doesn't know that he's restricted to 25 words, so
I love it.
Avia, I don't know what's coming, but I can't shake the feeling I'm not coming back. I just want to say thank you. And
and so in the same respect, she doesn't understand that, like, her message is cut off, and Kristoff, what are you saying? This doesn't make any sense. Of course you're coming back. But why don't you think you're coming back to Yuri? Oh, actually, that nailed it.
Yeah, got it in one. I can't respond.
Yeah.
And then as I see the Silent and I see all the stuff going on, I'm going to turn to Phelan and say, do you know what's happening here?
Of course. They're searching each skimmer coming in and out of the capital. I don't know what you know about these fiends or not, Kristoff, but they're tricky. They adapt. They get stronger. Magic has become less and less reliable here. And she kind of like motions to the airships above you. And she says, so we found other ways to handle our business, but again, they adapt, and I think it has something to do with their taking of people. But they've learned to disguise themselves.
Oh. Very good.
So now everything coming in gets checked. Everything going out gets checked.
That makes perfect sense.
Is this your first time in encountering the fiends? Because that's not what my intel suggests.
Old friends.
What? Okay. Seems like sarcasm, but okay.
Oh, I've run into them before. They are more advanced here than what I'm used to, but I have suspected for a long time that they've been adapting and changing, so...
I suppose I was hoping a hero of Oxbane would know more.
We kind of root and stemmed them at Oxbane before they got a chance to really become what they've become in silence.
How did you do it without the magic?
Without what magic?
Well, my spells aren't reliable. The fact that my flame technique worked was lucky, I think.
That did happen at Oxbane. Magic was not dulled. There were not these dead spots that I've experienced all throughout silence. That was not a factor.
Okay. That's strange.
I don't know if it was by the will of these, what do we call those guys? Stewards of Yuri, stewards of Goron were there and present. I don't know if that was a factor. I don't know if it has anything to do with the preventative measures you've taken here in Silence. But it was not so in Oxbane.
Interesting. And we're going to do a little bit of fast forwarding as the episodes, we're coming up on episode time. But you guys, you and Phaelana go through without issue. Go through the gate, especially her having the reputation and the weight that she has of being Palace's like right-hand person. And you kind of go through this like valley essentially on this skimmer. I mean, you notice it's not moving nearly as fast as it's going through these curves, but it's moving at a good steady pace, and it all looks so familiar, right? Coming home, these almost like this part of you, these mountains as they go by, like you've seen them so many times before. You've both walked this path and taken Hecray and carriage and skimmers alike through this path more times than you can count, right? Some with your father, some with your mother, some alone. And whatever that brings back feeling wise, it just reminds you of home. And as you're kind of like amidst those feelings, those memories, you see the cobblestone and the brick and the rebuilt city of Silence. And everybody calls it the rebuilt city. You would know this because like it was built on top of the city that was here before it, the land they conquered. And it has this sheen to it, and it's mostly like nostalgic. But one of the things that sticks out is like there are more like very much if you remember the Tinkerer's contraptions where they're a little more mechanical and like steampunk-ish, where there's some gears. You're seeing a couple of those things, like contraptions that you're not intimately familiar with, but as you like are using your torrent eyes to like investigate, because like I imagine you don't keep them on because the random flaring that's happened with the blind spots. But as you see these machines, you notice they are like magical in nature, but they're not torrentially powered.
Sure.
And the same thing for the airships above. As you get closer, you can kind of see the same bag, magically powered, from what you can tell, but not being drawn from the torrent. And you're seeing a lot of like flares and it is flares that you see in like a video, like when it's like that like shining ring that like happens. Is people fucking love doing solar flares in videos for effects, kind of like that, where it's like painful to look at. And you go through the city and you're very much like walking through and the cobblestone streets, and you see your people, and even you begin to notice that it's not as purely tiefling as it was. And while Silence was always tiefling based, right? Like there was definitely other races there. They just weren't nearly as predominant. But you're seeing more of a blend. Like instead of it being like 80% tiefling, 20% randos, it's more like 60-40. So you're noticing that as you're walking through the streets, and Phaelana continues to lead you through, and you notice like the 40% that is like orcs, elves, like you see a couple treekins, maybe an Arden or two. They don't really seem to take much stock of you, but like the tieflings just look disgusted with you as you're like walking, and you guys like hit the gates to Castle Shindo, and you make your way through the castle and these royal walls, and past all of these silent guardians, none of which move or respond to you as you pass by, and you're brought into this throne room, your father's throne room, and you see across from you see Pallas sitting on the throne, and he looks exhausted, and he has aged a decade physically. Like, he looks tired and old and worn. And he looks up and sees you, and you see this, like, old visage almost kind of, like, fade as he smiles. And with a spring and a step, like, jumps out of the throne and crosses the distance and says, "Brother, it's so good to see you."
I bow deeper than I could ever bow. The deepest bow. Your Grace.
No, stop it. Get up. No.
And I lower, or I raise my head slowly. Just kind of look at him.
We have so much to discuss.
Yes.
And he kind of looks at, he looks around the room, and you see, like, this big, stocky, like, red tiefling, like, in, like, battle armor, like, these like, linked chainmail things, and you see, Palace look around the room at the Silent and this big red tiefling who definitely is like a commander of some sort, and then he looks at Phelan and says, You're all dismissed. I must speak with my brother in private." And you watch as Phelana, like, bows and retreats without notice, and you see this other big tiefling, like, look annoyed and begin motioning the Silent guards out. And you hear him as he he approaches both of you, and he's fucking big to be a tiefling. Like,
yeah.
Dude has been on the roids, in your opinion. Yeah. And he looks at Palace and says, "Are you sure you want me to leave you with this filth?" And Palace says, he, like, bites back at him. "No matter what you think he's done or what he has done, he is of Shindo blood, and I suggest you watch your tongue." And you see, like, this surprise come across his commander's face, and he, like, departs the throne room. And it's you, Palace, and the silence of the throne room. Boys, you guys have these silent guardians board the ship, and they come down, and you notice like, there's two with these big ass fucking blades, and one is, like, holding, like, this, like, wooden stick up and, like, going, like, row to row. And you're hearing, like, them. Either of you know Infernal?
Hold on. I feel like I might have picked it up as a dumb thing, so that'd be funny. No, I know Draconic.
Okay, you know Draconic. What did you get a language from Willow, the artifact, Devin? I feel like you got something neat. I can't remember.
I don't think it was it wasn't a language that I'm aware of.
Okay, I don't know. I don't have stats in front of me. I can pull them up in a second. But you're watching them, like, put that wooden stick forward that you would kind of, like, discern as a wand, and then kind of hear a command, and then he moves to the next row, and he moves to the next row, and you see them do that one more time, and this, like, kind of, like, shifty looking tiefling, like, kind of looks surprised and starts to, like, hurdle a seat, and you watch as one of these Silent just, like, bring this blade in this thing's back, and blood spurtles up, and, like, the three of them grab this guy and drag him up the deck and off the boat. And you guys don't, like, understand anything that was said because all of the infernal, like, conversation between them. And it's not long before they come back and they begin their search with this wand.
Well, that sucked up. I'll look out the window.
So they come to your row of seats and they do a search. They do the wand, and he begins to start barking at you infernal. Like he's shouting at you.
I don't speak infernal. Common?
You have magic on you. What is it? What are you hiding?
Oh, my hat. It's a magical hat. I pick it up, I put it down, I snap my fingers, and it comes back on.
Roll a deception check, please. That was smooth. That was fast.
Oh, it's kind of in the middle.
Don't roll in that one.
No, it's a 26.
No, I'm just like my fucking. Yeah. No, don't roll that one. You're good. So he looks at it and goes, "That's. Where'd you get that? That's real cool."
I helped someone out. God, outside the walls. Over the past, just like a cart tipped over, and they thanked me, and they gave me this little button to put on my hat, so that I wouldn't lose it again. It's neat.
And so, for point of order, the guy with the wand is not wearing like one of these masks, right? Like he's a tiefling. He's kind of like in these like investigators robes, right? Oh, okay. Boys, and he like continues down for a search, and so you guys are able to get through the gate as you've been cleared, as the boat has been cleared, and your skimmer leads you through this curve in the mountains, and you guys reach the edge of the capital of Silence, Prima Tacet, and you get off the boat and you kind of like come down to the city's edge. Not city's edge, but like you make your way into the city because the dock is at the edge of the city. Mm-hmm. And you're greeted with cobblestone and brick buildings. And let me tell you, the mechanical contraptions that you as well see, right, with these, on the buildings and on some of the mountainsides, and of course the airships. The city covered in snow is one of the most beautiful things you've seen. Despite some of the pieces of ruin in the city, because there are some still ruined like projects, because it's still a city, right? Like there's construction going on. Like you can tell like somebody's trying to like renovate something, or they're trying to improve this, and you can tell they're building on some even to the day ruined pieces. What do you guys do next?
Well, I guess I can poop him out of my hat.
Okay, cool. So you boop him out of your hat, and you kind of like when you do that, somebody and just like walks by, like they weren't expecting like Atlas to just like pop up.
Actually, I would love to fucking if there's a kid, just be like, hey kid, check this out, pocket orc. It just.
And when you do that, you and he like sprints the other direction. Mama!
Say, I don't know where to begin, but we've got to find Teresa. Gotta find my mama.
I mean, what do we know?
All I know is that she's here at the Capitol, and maybe I'm hoping that she's here at the Capitol. I don't know where else she'd be. I don't even know if she's necessarily in danger. She just she would not be here. This is not a place where if Henry's not here, she wouldn't be here.
Right, we'll split up and look for her.
I guess we can cover more ground that way.
I mean, I guess we could try to meet back up here since it's the only point in the city we know of.
And I'll take a look around, kind of looking at everything, trying to remember where I am, take it in.
And through the snow-covered roofs, you see one just sparsely covered, but you see a red roof inn. Shane, quick, name it. This is your city.
This, of course, everyone knows, would be the Sunburnt Penguin.
Fucking love it. You see the red roof inn with the sign, and you see its colloquial name, which is the Sunburnt Penguin, and there's a little bitty penguin head there.
Oh.
You know what? It seems fitting that we would meet back here once we've found what we intend to find and do all the things we intend. I hope that Christoph is successful, and we'll all come back here, and I'll bring out some hot biscuits, and he can bring out the ginger ale, and we'll celebrate our victories. When do we meet back here?
I would think that we could, if we don't find her today, we can check in here, go to sleep, wake up, part ways, do it again. We'll cover the whole city till we find her.
That sounds good.
So the two
I
of
appreciate
you,
your help. Yeah.
the two of you kind of you walk up to the sunburnt penguin and kind of look up at the sign and look back at each other, and you kind of like motion for him to take the west, and you'll take the east portions of the city. It's a big city, but like obviously you have a plan for that, right? Like you're gonna explore multiple days, and I think Rowan like begins like walking away, and like you start going the other direction. You kind of like look back, and you see his not red, but brown hat like in the crowd, and you kind of both like look back at each other, and before you know, you look back again, and he's like lost in the crowd. And that's where we're going to end this episode. Boys, lots of things happening.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. My name is Scott Chainsaw, and I approve this message.
Wait, what message? That your name is Scott Chainsaw?
The whole last episode.
Oh,
This
okay.
So the other thing I want to talk about is DrawCon. The DrawCon's coming up, fast approaching. We're probably like a week or two out from this point, if not. I may be fucking like on the way. I don't know.
I could be on a plane right now.
I'm taking a car, but I could be in a car right now. And buy your ticket, man. Like it's gonna be super cool. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have custom things there. Have we announced that custom?
Yeah. We're gonna have maybe not on the show, probably in the Discord. We're gonna have custom dice.
You can get D20s.
Yeah, hold on a second. I have them right here.
He's got them right here. Well, I guess those.
You can't see them because this is an audio only.
D20s with our Lawful Stupid logo.
I've got them in yeah, they're on the 20, and it's a cool little Lawful Stupid logo. I have them in a bag. Got a bunch of them. I'm just gonna shake the bag for your listening pleasure.
Let me say that is a DrawCon exclusive. So if you want to get to DrawCon, you can actually buy some of those D20s with our logo on them. Buy them, sell them on eBay. They're probably worth
Make more money than we made.
Yeah, make more money than we make.
We spent money.
Nothing. They're worth nothing. We lost money. But yeah, no. We're
It
gonna
costs
have
5
those.
doll hairs.
We're gonna
Doll
have
hairs.
yeah. So if you want to bring us 5 very specific doll hairs, it's got to be from the doll from Toy Story, right?
They
Like
have to
the
be.
first
They each
one.
have to be a different color.
Yeah. And we're gonna have merch there. We're gonna have a merch booth. You can get some shirts with our logo. You can come see our shows. The live show is gonna be off the chain. We have Ben from D&D Grandma joining us. That's gonna be a good time. Who knows what the Findle shenanigans will end up being. We're also gonna DM some tables. Shane's is booked up, but they are invite only.
Can't do it.
So if you haven't purchased your seat at one of our tables, Devin and I are also running tables. I'm just going to assume mine's super booked. I don't fucking know. I actually need to look into that 100%.
Look, it's not.
Oh no! No one has signed up. Devin, we're playing together. You and I.
Oh no, Devin's almost booked up too.
Oh,
I think Devin's only got 1 seat left. And Dwayne has all of his seats available. Strangely,
Weird.
I pay people to pick
I think
me.
that's a comment on how well I do in the show.
they're like, "Oh man, he's too hard to do.
He's too
Man,
hardcore.
I'm intimidated by his presence."
His prowess, yeah. Yeah, cool. But no, DrawCon's coming up soon. That's Fort Wayne, Indiana, July 12th to the 14th. You can go to lawfulstupid.org. I know we have it up there. If you're in the Discord, we're always talking about it. And of course, you can go to the DrawCon website, which is
It's drawcon.com.
DrawCon.com.
I think.
That simple.
Pretty
I'm
sure. Double check.
fact checking currently. It is DrawCon.com. You can there's a
Fucking
big red
nailed it.
button
Got
that
it
says,
in one.
Buy tickets here, Fort Wayne, Indiana, starting Friday, July 12th at 10 a.m. I mean, these are gonna be long days, man. There are like so many cool, like Roll Like a Girl is gonna be there. North Quest is gonna be there. Suddenly Tabletop's gonna be there. One Shot Onslaught / Halfway to Hero is gonna be there. Real Women of Gaming, like so many good guests. Like we're among such great company. They all make us look like amateurs. It's great.
We're definitely amongst the low point of the. They definitely asked us first, not realizing all these.
We're the
amazing
bottom
people
of the bell curve for sure.
Roll for Humanity is, of course, going to the Michael J. Fox Foundation, helping to battle Parkinson's, and I have rolled a 10.
Woo, buddy!
Michael J. Fox Foundation.
A 10. It's a 10.
It's a 10. 10 out of 10. Would recommend supporting them with your own Roll for Humanity at your table.
Cool beans. Well, boys, let's play them out. Play them out. Play them out. Play them out. Play them out.
We love you. Bye.
Okay,
bye.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, you are great.
It makes me happy.